talking about. We look at both the quantum of the rebound and the quality of the rebound as well. So let's just start with the four indices: Nifty Bank, small cap, mid cap indices. And what I've done is I've looked at how much these indices have bounced from the lows, but also what's the view from the top, from the all-time high, what's the distance. So the Nifty is recovered about 6.3% from the lows, 11% to go back to the prior high. For the Nifty Bank, the number is 6% and 7% respectively. Nifty mid cap index has bounced 11, but 15 to go for the all-time high. And the small cap index has bounced 13%, but still some 18% to go from the all-time high. Now, the next graphic is interesting, right? Because this came to us from Nuvama's Nikhil Ranka. He sent this data, and sometimes looking at history, it kind of is also reassuring. Sometimes it's scary, sometimes it's reassuring. And this one I thought was reassuring. Every 2 years, very neatly shows you that every 2 years there is a bit of a market fall. I mean, time cycles, right? I mean, every 2 years, small fall. Every 8 years, bigger fall. Not getting into all of that, but just look at this, right? 16, Brexit, 18, Ireland FS, 2020, COVID. Of course, this was very brief but very sharp. 10% Russia, Ukraine in 22, and of course 25. We've got this 16% dip that we've had from the high to the low. Now, how have sectors fared, pockets and various sectors? Again, same format, how much we bounced and how much is there in terms of distance to go. Metals, CPSE, the CPSE, the PSU space was smashed down, but very smart recovery from the lows. Metals also, oil and gas, 12%, 23 to go. Real estate, 10.5%, and 25% to go. So real estate is still, in a way, in the dumps with the sharp correction we've seen. PSU bank specifically, pharma is a space, autos on your screen now. And of course, I mean, just last three sectors are interesting. Auto and FMCG, not very much recovery at all. And of course, IT, none whatsoever. Really almost at the lows, despite today's intraday bounce from the morning kind of lows. Nothing very much coming in here, 20% off the highs for the Nifty IT index. Let's get to stocks now. Here, what I've done is, so basically there are 40 stocks on the NSE 500 which have bounced over 20%. The starting date I've used is the close of March of 3rd, which is when the NSE 500 made a low. But I've not used intraday lows on that day, but closing levels. It's all, I mean, the common theme is it's all industrials, manufacturing, capital good kind of names. Not very much by way of consumers. Look at this. Garden Reach, BDL, HAL, Jyoti CNC, Chennai Petro. There is Adani Energy, Kirloskar Engine Oil, NLC, the pipe maker, Welspun Corp, which of course did not have a big correction when the market sold off. JSW Infra, KEC International, kind of gives you a sense, right? That it's top of the list in terms of what has bounced the most is still what did the best when we were actually going higher. The capital market plays have done well, K Fintech, Nuvama, CAMS. I mean, then a sampling of some other names, DOMS and Amber and Spark. And then you sort of look at stuff which has recovered the least. And here, it's basically the same. They never participated in a big way on the upside. They did actually give up some more when the overall market was falling. It's all mostly consumers. Devyani, Sapphire, Metro Brands, Vedant Fashion, Campus. But, as I said, it's not as if they topped when the market made a top and started selling off. The top for these stocks was not made in September, October last year. They've been anyway in a bit of a corrective zone. So maybe that's one reason why they're showing up in terms of least recovered stocks. MapMy India, and of course there's the tech pack, right? Infi, LTI, Mindtree, and Wipro. And then there are individual news-related names, but IndusInd Bank shows up because of course the crisis we saw there. And KEI has gotten hit twice in a span of 3-4 weeks with more competition really coming through. But for what it's worth, the bounce has been strong, and it's been strong as well. But 7 days to go for the 2nd of April, which is of course the dateline for tariffs, Trump tariffs. So will we rally into it, or a little bit of cautiousness before that is the question. Rahul, I don't know if you have any thoughts.